Nearly half of all U.S. voters support pro-crypto policies, according to software company Consensus and polling from HarrisX. The poll found that 49% of voters are in favor of crypto, and of those, 13% are actually open to crossing party lines for favorable crypto policies on the other side. And an overwhelming majority, 92% of crypto owners, do plan to vote in November.
Former President Trump took note of this, it seems. In July, he attended the biggest crypto conference in the US, Bitcoin 2024, where he told the crowd he would make America, the world leader of Bitcoin and other digital currency. Kamala Harris has yet to take an official position on this, but it might do her some good if she did. A new Morning Consult poll shows the candidates are tied, each polling at 47% each among crypto voters. What's more, the survey found that of the 52 million crypto owners in the US, 6.5 million are concentrated in the 7 key swing states. Those, of course, are Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Here to dive into how crypto stands to impact the presidential election is Dritan Nesho, founder and CEO of HarrisX. You're very welcome. So let's get right into this. How do you think voters who own cryptocurrency differ from the general electorate? What specifically speaks to them?
Great question. They're not single-issue voters, but these are voters that are very concerned about the economy. Ultimately, many crypto owners, which make up 25% of the electorate, according to our polling, they care about inflation, they care about economic issues through and through, and their investment in crypto is seen pretty much as a hedge against what they see negative trends on inflation and the economy. So these are key voters, and given how tight this election is, the fact that there's more crypto owners in all battleground states than the last election's difference, or the margin of difference from 2020, that's a very important fact and something that each campaign needs to take note. This could be a voter bloc that could end up tipping the election one way or another, depending on whether the candidates speak to them.
Crypto is in the category of financial regulation. There's some interest in regulating it from certain members of Congress, along typical party lines. Republicans, the GOP, are usually the party that wants to do less regulation on this front. Democrats want to do more, although there are some Democrats who are supportive of crypto, who own crypto themselves, who have met with people in that industry, in that sector. So it's a little bit more complicated than a Republicans versus Democrats thing, but as we alluded to, Kamala Harris really hasn't said much about it, which way she comes down in terms of the split in her own party. Can you speak to that reality a bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's the important point, right? That these voters actually tend to skew a little bit more democratic, a little bit younger, a little bit more multicultural. So they're more naturally to be Democratic voters than they are Republican voters. But at the same time, the Democratic nominee isn't speaking that much to the segment of voters about the issues that they care about. And frankly, the Biden administration, of which Kamala Harris has been part of, has not been very friendly to the crypto industry. So taking all of this together, there's both an opportunity and a threat, you could say, to the Harris campaign in terms of how they deal with this community, whether or not they hit the right tones with the community and guarantee that innovation and opportunity will not be stifled going forward through unnecessary or overbearing government regulation, or whether they don't take a position at all, which is kind of where the campaign is right now. But you're definitely right that the Trump campaign has hit on the right messages with this group. And even though no party owns crypto voters, they are split, as you mentioned in your opening of the segment, there's an opportunity for these voters to really be swing voters and shift around from one side to another, depending on whether they think one of the campaigns or the other is going to be better for their bottom line and their pocketbook.
The crypto industry has spent more than $100 million in this election cycle. As they're looking to potentially influence politicians, what are some of the legislative priorities they're looking at related to crypto besides just preventing regulation?
Sure. I mean, I think that they're looking for a friendly regulatory environment. Most crypto owners accept the need for guardrails and accept a role for the government in regulating the industry. What they don't accept is broad-based regulation that is harmful to the industry. And actually, they feel that the United States should be a global leader in this industry to the same level that China has been and several other geostrategic competitors. So again, this is an industry that's open to a broad-based conversation around regulation, but they don't want the stifling of innovation in any way, shape, or form.
What should we make of Trump's visit to that conference, his positive statements about crypto, his closer ties this time around versus his when he was in the administration? I don't think he paid a lot of attention to this issue, but he now, or has supporters, top supporters who do really care about crypto or involved in crypto, convincing him to get on board. What should we make of his approach to the issue?
Well, as you noted, crypto voters are open to switching party lines or changing party lines in the election or crossing party lines, I should say, based on whether or not the candidates have the right policy when it comes to these investments that they've made. And that's very important. And I think that the Trump campaign rightly realized that there's an opening here and an opportunity. That's why he attended the Bitcoin conference. Ultimately, in a razor-thin election with 2-point differences across many battleground states and also on a national basis, swing voters like this can make all the difference. The math of a swing voter is such that if you switch them from one side to another, you actually need to turn out 2 base voters to make up for that movement and for that switch. So swing voters are materially more valuable in an electoral campaign than actually base voter turnout are because of the how the math works. And so this is a key swing voter demographic, and the Trump campaign has been early to recognize that. It's yet to be seen whether or not the Harris campaign will hit on the right notes with this group in the last 30 days before the election.
What impact do you think the Sam Bankman-Fried fraud case has had on political appetites to deregulate or increase regulation on crypto? He was, of course, a big bankroller of some Democratic politicians. Outside of Trump, do you get the sense that this sort of blow-up might have had some politicians more eager to regulate crypto?
Well, I think that the blow-up of FTX concerned everyone, including owners of crypto and people within the industry. This is why the industry is not against regulation. It's for the right kind of regulation, right? Regulation that doesn't stifle innovation. And I would say that even before that event, the industry has reached the level of maturity that it's actually a clear actor in elections. It's raised a lot of money, as you mentioned, over 100 million that it's deploying across different races, up and down the electoral path. So again, it's a mature group of voters. It's a mature industry with clear perspectives of what needs to happen going forward, and that's what we try to get to within this poll.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bigger and bigger issue moving forward, much well beyond the upcoming election. Thank you for staying on top of it, Dritan. We really appreciate having you on.
Thank you.